Uber Eats, you're probably making at least one of these mistakes, which could be possibly hurting your earnings. Mistake number one, accepting every order. If you're someone who's accepting every order that comes your way, well, this is the quickest way to lose money. Now, I've heard time and time again from newer drivers thinking they have to accept every order that pops up on their screen because they think they'll be deactivated from the app if they don't. Well, I'm here to tell you that is 100% not true. If that was the case, I would have been deactivated many years ago. One of the best things about the apps, besides having the freedom to drive when you want, is that you have a choice of what offers you want to accept and what offers you want to decline. There are many unprofitable offers floating around out there that if you were to accept that offer, you would actually be paying to deliver the customer's order because the pay is low, the miles are just too high, and you're using your own vehicle to deliver the order and your own gas to where you're actually not making any money, which of course defeats the purpose of making deliveries because your goal when coming out here and making deliveries is to make money, not lose money. So do remember, you do have the right to decline unreasonable low-paying offers or even offers that are going to take you into a bad part of town or offers to a restaurant that you know that there's gonna be a long wait for the order. You can decline and accept what you want to. So a good rule of thumb when determining if an order is worth it is by using the dollar per mile ratio. For me, I like to stick around the $2 per mile ratio. So for example, if an offer came in, let's say for $10, I would want the miles to be around 5 miles or less. Now I know for some people in different markets, they'll do $1.50 per mile, but you have to do what works best for you in your market. Also, I wanted to mention that you need to set a minimum dollar amount of what you're willing to accept. So for me, my minimum is $6. Now I have taken some $5 and some change offers, but the mileage needs to be really low. The lower the miles and the higher the pay is always the best type of offers. But the bottom line is don't accept every offer that comes your way. Decline unreasonable offers and wait for a better offer to come along that meets your criteria. Mistake number two, chasing busy zones. So the app might say it's busy in a certain location, but the problem is those busy zones aren't always busy, so that busy icon on your app isn't always accurate. Plus, if every driver is heading to the same location, it can get oversaturated really fast, and then suddenly you have more drivers than there are orders to go around. So instead of chasing what the app is calling busy zones, put yourself in an area nearby where you know there's a lot of restaurants or fast food chains. The goal when coming out here is not to waste your gas or time chasing zones that may not be busy, especially if you're having to drive far, because let's say if you had to drive like 20 minutes out to one of these busy zones, you're gonna have to travel 20 minutes back or more to get home, depending on if you can get an offer or how far you get sent out if you did get an offer. And another thing to pay attention to is where you're constantly picking your orders up from. For example, I find on the weekends, customers love to order pizza. So in this case, I would position myself near a pizza place that I usually pick up from because this gives me a higher chance of getting an offer from that restaurant. If there is like a cluster of restaurants near you, I would suggest starting out in that area. Mistake number three, not using an insulated bag. An insulated bag is an important part of delivering the customer's food as it will keep the food hot, or if it's a colder item, let's say like ice cream, it can help keep it cold, especially if it's on a hotter day and summer's coming up. So you definitely want to keep items like that cold. You definitely don't want to deliver cold food or melted ice cream to your customer who just paid to have you bring them their food. Always try to imagine being in the customer's shoes. Would you like your food to arrive cold, or your ice cream melted, I think that we can all agree we probably wouldn't be happy. So be sure to have an insulated bag to keep the customer's food in. A few other benefits of having an insulated bag is one, when you take your bag into a restaurant and it's busy, it can help you stand out from everyone and the staff will know you're there to pick up an order. And also, if there's a long line, customers will know you're a delivery driver and not think that you're trying to cut the line. This can be pretty helpful, especially if you're a newer driver. Another benefit is when you're making a delivery to the customer's house, especially if it's dark out or it's a late night delivery, your delivery bag can act as your badge. It shows the neighbors, or maybe it's someone in the house that isn't aware that their roommate ordered a late night delivery, that you're not creeping around. You're actually there to deliver food, so nobody gets concerned or freaked out that somebody's walking up to the house at late night. Mistake number 4, not tracking your mileage or expenses. When you come out here to do deliveries, you want to be sure to be tracking your mileage, as this is a big tax write-off. You don't want to leave any money on the table come tax season. Also, you want to be sure to track your expenses, as this is another write-off on your taxes. So for example, if you purchase, let's say, a hot bag or a phone holder or anything to help you get the job done, you can write this off as well because you're using it for business use. If you want to learn more about what you can and can't write off, I'll leave a video at the end of this video that goes over taxes. Now, if you are looking for an app that tracks your mileage and has a place to input expenses, there is an app called Solo. Not only does it track your mileage and expenses, you can track your income, see your estimated state and federal taxes, see the best times to work, and in certain cities there is guaranteed pay. It's an app for gig workers that has a lot to offer. If you are interested in a 7-day free trial, I will have the link down below in the description. Now, if you do decide that you like Solo and you sign up for one of their subscription plans, you'll receive a $10 sign-up bonus. Now, I do also want to mention that you can write Solo off because you are using the app for business use. Again, I will have the link down below in the description. And last but not least, mistake number 5, which is rushing around and making delivery errors. Now, I will say I have been there myself, and I'm sure many of my seasoned drivers who are watching have been there themselves, from delivering to the wrong address or apartment, forgetting a drink in your car, giving the wrong order to the customer when you have a stacked order, just to name a few. So to avoid making delivery errors, you need to slow down and double check the details, like double checking the drop-off address before dropping off the order, double checking the order details to make sure they don't have a drink. And if they do have a drink, making sure the restaurant gives it to you, because sometimes it is forgotten. And when loading the drink into your car, make sure, 1, it's in a secure spot, and 2, that you have it next to the food so the drink won't be forgotten when you go to deliver the order. Also, be sure to read the customer delivery notes, as some customers will leave gate codes or their drop-off preferences, or even helpful instructions to help find their place, which is always greatly appreciated. There are some difficult places out there. So delivery errors could definitely cost you your tip or even get a bad rating. So be sure to slow down, check all the details from picking up the order to dropping the order off. And there you have it, 5 mistakes newer Uber Eats drivers make when coming out and doing deliveries. Now, if you are a newer Uber Eats driver and not sure where to begin, you can check out this Uber Eats tutorial right here. Always appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.